welcome to the World Karate Federation's Best of the Decade show. And Chapter 1 gives us a chance to relive some of the 2010 Senior World Karate Championships from Belgrade in Serbia. And today's program features on the male team Kata final and the wonderful three-time world champion, individual Kata champion, Luca Valdesi. Welcome, Luca.
Thank you. Hello to everybody.
So now we're going to be looking back at 2010, and Luca had started that competition in a fantastic position individually, got to the final, didn't win the final, lost out to Antonio Diaz, but here he is again in the final of the team. And so Luca, I want you to give us a chance when we get into the action to talk us through how it felt for you on that very special day back in 2010.
Yes, it's a very nice sensation. I remember very well the championship and full of people, like you can see. And the final again, Japanese was very important for us. We were world champions, so it was important for us to try to confirm again our position. And every time it's difficult to confirm when you are on the top.
Now, in those days, Luca, it was the flag system as opposed to the point system that we currently operate in the WKF. And in those days, when those judges made their way to the corners of the areas as opposed to behind the table at the back, you would have still had Aka and Ao. And Aka would have gone first, which is Japan in this case. They had already won 8 world titles in the team event. And Italy, the only team really to give them a challenge, had taken 3 world titles. So as they were going on to the area, how do you and the team start to maintain your concentration, Luca?
Okay, of course it was not simple to keep the concentration against Japan. Like you say, it was the biggest team in the history. So for us it was a very, very big bet. So it was important for us to try to show our best work, because definitely it's not the most important the winning, but it's important to show your best job than possible, the best work than possible. So our concentration was very, very high. We didn't think about our opponent. We were very close like a team, and the energy was inside us, inside our area. Like you say, they start like Aka, like first calling, and we were outside and waiting our time. We didn't watch our opponents, and we were thinking about what we have done in the training, in the dojo. This was the main thing.
Well, now we just saw a major error in synchronization from the Japanese players. You would have maybe have seen that because you were focusing on your concentration and getting ready, but that would have been taken into consideration certainly by the judges. So you could have heard that gasp from the audience, Luca, or did you? And how did that make you feel?
Of course, in that moment the pressure, it was very high. So the adrenaline is very high because you have a different feeling, different sensation. From one side, you are concentrated in you, and you want to go over on the tatami to break everything, to try to show that you are like a killer during the kata. But in the other part, you know that you have to keep the concentration because you have to find the balance with the other 2 guys of the team. And this is not simple to find the balance between your maximum expression of power and feel the level of your company partners.
We've now come through the first part of the kata, and thank you for that explanation, Luca. We're now moving into the bunkai, the second part of the kata, and 50% of the valuation is for each aspect of this. In the bunkai, the objective is to try and replicate as much as they can the kata proper, and actually Japan are incredibly good at the bunkai. Excellent kime, as you can see here. very, very strong Zukis. And how do you develop as a team, Luca, the bunkai choreography?
Okay, our bunkai was done by ourselves, so it was created in the kata. We every time we try to follow exactly each technique of the kata. Try to don't add more choreographic movements or techniques. Another important point is that we did by ourselves, so it means I know what is my best techniques, my best movement. So I try to use that situation in the bunkai. The work of the uke, it's free. The theory have to follow the bunkai, but the uke, the people that do the attack outside, can choose the attack. And this is important to try to show our best possibility.
You personally, Luca, had, as I said earlier, you'd lost out on that gold, you've taken silver medal, you were 3 times world champion. How did the emotion of you maintaining your concentration for this team final, that must have been very, very challenging for you?
Yes, but the answer is that I had 2 boxes in my brain. So one for individual and one for the team. Even the performance, it was different between team and individual. It was difficult, but I try every time to divide individual like one competition, team a different competition, another competition. So I was empty again before the final with the team.
Well, that kind of just explains what it's like to be a champion and to be able to compartmentalize your thought process. Just thinking about the duration of the kata, the timing is, in those days, it was 6 minutes. It's now 5 minutes. That's a long period. The kata itself hasn't changed in terms of how much time it takes, but certainly the number of techniques that are exchanged in the bunkai has. And did that transition become difficult for you over those years, Luca?
Every changing is difficult, especially in the beginning of the period, of the new period. But I think that was a good choice because probably a lot of team imagine that use all the 6 times it was better than do the really bunkai. So a lot of time in the competition, it was possible to see too much movement that was not connected with the kata. So in my point of view, in the 5 minutes, you have a good time to finish your bunkai for a lot of kata. Probably the longest kata has some problem, but it becomes a strategy for the competition.
Yeah. So, as the team from Japan, Itaro Oki, Masashi Ojihara, and Takumi Hasegawa leave the tatami, on to the tatami come the team from Italy, you and your teammates. Now, Luca, you're in the center of the triangle, and I'd just like to find out why that is. Is there any particular reason you have the makeup of that triangle in the way that you do?
Okay, we use these positions to have a balance in the team, because in the center we had Maurino, and Maurino was smaller than us. Me and Figuccio was taller, and so we had a good balance for the team. If I stay in the front and in back 2 different height, it was not so nice to see.
I see. And your chosen kata, your signature kata, Luca, as an individual and for the team in the final, is Gankaku, crane on a rock. Very, very difficult kata to perform, particularly for the synchronization. How did you feel about the choice of kata and the team players that you're working with?
Okay, first of all, our target was to win the World Championship, not to arrive in the final. So we chose Gankaku especially because it was very difficult and very spectacular kata. So it was important to have something with a big impression for the public, for the referee, because we were against Japan. In Japan, like you say, it was 8 times world champion. So we need to do something very, very difficult and very spectacular. That's why we chose Gankaku. After that,
sorry, Luca. I'm just saying, we see here one of those difficult areas, the balance slightly by Ferruccio on the left there, and again the gasp from the crowd. You would have been noticing that, I'm sure.
Yeah, this movement is very, very difficult. We were speaking about how the team prepare this pressure, because the most difficult in this kata is for the brain, for the concentration. It's a big brain pressure, not too much physical, but the pressure when you are over 1 foot with a lot of people that watching you, with the spotlight over you, it's difficult. We train a lot, and when we go to tatami, we are sure of our job. This is the secret.
And you come to the end of the first part of the kata, and now moving into the bunkai. And how do you decide as a team who's going to make the attacks? And do you apportion it out so we have equal attacks from each player, or is there a key one? I know that you are, obviously, as individual triple world champion, you must have been heavily involved in the bunkai yourself.
Okay, the choice to have only one performer, one guy that do the bunkai, is because we believe to follow the line of the kata. In the kata there is one guy that do the movement. That's the meaning is the fighting against the opponent. And we want to show this to the public, to the referee, the really meaning of the kata. The choice of keep the central, it's because Maurino was in the center in the kata, and we decided to have this part, me and Figuccio, start from our side. In the end, like I told you, we create together the bunkai, and we were 3 protagonists, not only 1 and 2 uke. We were 3 people that give 33% of work for each one.
Now, as the kata is progressing, the judges now will be sitting, evaluating the performance and trying to make that comparison. Extremely difficult job to do for anybody. It's not an exact science. It is all about opinion, of course. And the rules in those days were for the flag system. How did you, because I know that your work with the Athletes Commission, Luca, and the Rules Commission, how did you influence that change from flags to the point system that we currently now operate?
Not too much. I think 95% only. So I pushed a lot to try to move from flag system to point system. I did a lot of presentation, a lot of project work to try to explain to the Commission why it was better the point system than the flag system. I really believe that in the center of the competition there is the competitor, not the referee, not the coaches, not the president, only the competitor. So this is the center of the competition, and then we have to try to ensure that the best competitor arrive to the final, arrive to the end of the competition. So I really believe that the point system try to help this situation. So in the end, the component of lucky, the component of strange situation is very small. But the most important component now is the value of the competitor, the really level of the competitor.
Here's the moment. Up go the flags, and Italy become world champions in 2010. Wonderful moment, a wonderful experience, no doubt. And those changes that you talk about, Luca, in the point system is now much more transparent. People now get an opportunity to be able to look back and see exactly what those scores meant and why the judges went the way that they did. But after that individual defeat, this must have been a special moment for you and your teammates, Luca.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, was the sixth gold medal in the World Championship. So it was very, very important in the senior category because I have some other medals, but it was a very, very nice moment. In the end, I left from this competition with one gold and one silver on my neck. So very good competition.
Well, congratulations on your win in 2010. You've had many, many more experiences since. What a wonderful experience working with you again, Luca, my friend. Luca Valdesi, thank you so much. And until next time, everybody, bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.